Pennsylvania for supporting Hillary. I want to thank Dave Kovacs, Commissioner of the county, Columbia County Democrat Chair Belinda Madden, Sheriff Tim Chamberlain, thank you, and the police chief and all the officials here from Bloomsburg who are here. I want to thank Representative Greg Meeks from Queens. Did he do a good job for Hillary? And I want to introduce our running mate here, Congressman Kendrick Meek from Miami, Florida, who is also one of Hillary's big supporters. He believes, and I hope you agree, that the voters in Florida should have their votes counted too for Hillary. Folks, I was shaking hands and taking a few pictures backstage. This fellow looked at me and he said, I just want you to know the people you're about to see are not bitter, they're proud. They just want this country to go in a different direction. They want to restore the middle class, reclaim the future for our kids, reform the government, take it away from the special interests, restore America's standing in the world, bring our troops home from Iraq, and take care of our veterans and our men and women in uniform. That's what Hillary offers. And there's been a lot of hoopla about who said what and who shot John the last couple of days. But one of the things that I thought was kind of overlooked in all this is that one more time the campaign's office at Hillary said, well, there really wasn't any difference in the Clinton years and the Bush years. Rural Pennsylvania didn't do very well. Do you agree with that? I just thought I'd get a few witnesses here. So, you know, I'm a Baptist. On Sunday we look for witnesses. So, let's talk about this. And last thing I want to say, most important thing you can do for your pocketbook is to vote for a president that within a couple of years will enable you to buy a car you can afford and will get 100 miles per gallon. Now, whenever I get to this point in my speech, people want to clap and they said, no, you know, Bill's not as young as he used to be. I think he's just about 3 bricks shy of a full load. Let me tell you something. I talked to a guy last week who is one of 50 of your fellow citizens driving a car that gets 100 miles to the gallon in town and 70 miles on the highway with just one of many technologies being developed. It's a hybrid car on steroids. You know how these little hybrid cars work, don't you? They're on a battery to 25 miles an hour, then they flip over to fuel. This one has a battery pack that will give you 40 more miles every single day on nothing but electricity, which means you can go to 40 miles a gallon before you go into fuel. Once you're there, you're at 100 miles a gallon in town. You think what that would do for your pocket, right? Think what it would do for your country. We could say to all those nice people that sell us all this oil, we've been thinking about it. You guys go on and charge $100 a barrel. On second thought, charge $200 a barrel. You charge whatever you want. We're going to keep our $350 billion at home in our families' pocketbooks and our children's future in the jobs of tomorrow. That's what we want. And the reason why do you need a president to do that? Because you need government research money to accelerate the development of these batteries at an affordable price. All of you know that electronic products go down the more you produce, don't you? Think flat screen televisions, iPods and iPhones, right? The more you produce, the cheaper they get. Now, you need research because most of the stuff used to make these batteries is still in the ground in Latin America, and we've got to figure out how to make it cheap enough so that if we give you a tax credit, you can run right out and buy one and start getting the benefits. That's what you have this energy fund for, that she was the very first candidate to propose establishing. And her position on this is simple. President Kennedy said, we got to beat the world to the moon, and we did it. If America can beat the world to the moon, Hillary believes we can surely beat the world to a car battery, and if you want to, you should vote for her for president. Second big cost problem we've got, and the biggest difference right now between these two candidates, is to make health care more affordable. It's about to bankrupt family after family after family. The price of health care has doubled in this decade. Right? And that's the way most of you experience the healthcare crisis, isn't it? How am I going to pay for it? Well, let's just do a little test here. Raise your hand if you know somebody without any health coverage at all. Now look around. Look at all the hands up. Here's why you ought to vote for Hillary on this issue. She is the only person who's got a plan that will provide affordable health care coverage to everybody, and you can't make your health care more affordable unless you cover everybody. You've got to decide if you agree with that. That's why the American nurses endorsed her plan. That's why Elizabeth Edwards, the wife of John Edwards, who's dealt with her own health challenge, said Hillary had the best health care plan. That's why everybody who's looked at it knows. It costs $1,700 more a person to cover people under her opponent's health care plan because not everybody's covered. He said, well, so what if 15 million aren't covered? So what if we can't get control of your cost? Here's why. Here's why covering everybody helps you. The insurance companies right now spend $50 billion a year that you pay them in premiums figuring out how not to insure people. How crazy is that? Oh, I paid to a fund to help people not get insurance. And what did you pay with? My insurance money. But think about it. I'm sorry I can't insure you, ma'am, because your child has a pre-existing condition. I'm sorry I didn't give you a health insurance policy, but it doesn't cover what you need right now. I bet anything there's more than 100 people in this room that's happened to. Now, if you covered everybody, you could make it illegal to spend 1 red cent not covering people because everybody's entitled to be covered. Save $50 billion right off the mark. Second thing is, this should make you mad. 30 cents of every dollar you pay for health care goes to paperwork. Now, is there a business in Bloomsburg that can stay in operation if they blew 30% of their revenues on overhead and didn't do anything? Is there a car repair place, a flower shop, a dry cleaning operation? I mean, you name it. You couldn't do it, could you? Why do they use 30% of your money? Medicare's overhead is 3%. Why is it 30? Think about it. Hundreds of companies writing thousands of policies, all covering different things in different numbers of people. Albert Einstein couldn't keep up with this. So everybody tugs over money all the time. That's why you got business people joining the labor unions finally saying, I've got to have universal coverage. We can't waste this kind of money. That's why you got doctors joining the nurses saying, I'd like to practice with patients again instead of paper. Please give me universal coverage. This is a big deal. This is a big deal. You want to bring manufacturing jobs back? You want people to be able to afford to pay high wages and good benefits? You can't double health care costs every 7 years. And Hillary is the only person who is going to give you affordable health care for everybody. If you think it's time to stop making excuses and start making progress, vote for Hillary for president.